Somewhere in America this morning, a woman in her 70s walked out to her mailbox the same way she has on the 3rd of every month for 30 years. She opened it. Empty, no check, no letter, no warning, just gone. And here's the part that should scare you and make you angry in the same breath. She did nothing wrong. She didn't miss a deadline. She didn't break a single rule. She wasn't caught up in any fraud. Her Social Security payment simply stopped landing because her name sat on a list she never knew existed. Right now, in 2026, there are almost 400,000 seniors on that same list. And the agency that put them there will not call, will not write, will not knock on the door to warn you. That's not me being dramatic. That's just how the machine is built. So if you collect a Social Security check of any kind, retirement, a survivor's benefit, disability, this one's for you. Stay with me to the end, because I'm going to walk you through every list that can freeze, shrink, or flat out stop your check this year, show you how to tell in about 5 minutes whether your name is on one, and hand you the single phone call that keeps your money coming. Welcome back to the Finance Scribe. If you're new here, this channel runs on one idea. Put this kind of thing in front of you before it costs you, instead of after, when it's too late to fix. Quick and honest before we start. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not with the government. I can't open your file and read your numbers. What I can do is lay out the rules exactly as they stand today and give you the precise words to say to protect yourself. One favor before the first list. Tell me down in the comments, do you still get a paper check in the mail, or did you move to direct deposit years ago? Sounds like a random question. In about 60 seconds, you'll see why I asked. Let's knock out one thing fast, because two kinds of people are about to click away, and both of them are wrong. This is not only for folks who are scraping by. Plenty of comfortable, careful retirees are sitting on these lists too. And it is not only for people who pulled something shady. Most of the seniors getting cut off did absolutely nothing wrong. That first list has nothing to do with your income or your behavior. It comes down to one thing only: how your check actually reaches your hands. So here it is. List 1, the paper check. For decades, tens of millions of Americans got their Social Security the same way: a paper check in the mailbox on payment day. Then, on September 30th of 2025, the government pulled the plug. By law, Social Security stopped mailing paper checks. The whole thing is going fully electronic, and that switch is still rolling through this year. Here's who it leaves standing in the cold. When the deadline hit, roughly 390,000 people, call it nearly 400,000, were still getting that paper check every single month. The oldest of the old. Folks out in rural counties. People who never trusted a bank, or never had a reason to use one. And if that's you, or that's your mother, the check that has shown up faithfully for 30 years is about to stop showing up. Nobody's punishing you. The paper just ran out. Now, why would they even do this? There's a real reason, and it's actually in your favor. A paper check sitting in a mailbox is the easiest money in the world to steal. It gets lifted from the box, washed, forged, cashed by a stranger. An electronic payment can't be snatched off your porch. So the change itself is sound. The danger is only for the person who doesn't switch in time. The fix is simple, and it costs you nothing. You've got two ways to keep the money flowing. 1, direct deposit straight into your bank or credit union account. 2, if you don't have a bank and don't want one, there's the Direct Express card. It's a prepaid debit card built for exactly this situation. Your benefit loads onto it the same day every month, and you swipe it like any other card. You set up either one by logging in at sa.gov or by calling Social Security directly. And if you truly cannot go electronic, someone genuinely remote, a real hardship case, there's one narrow escape hatch. You can ask the Treasury Department for a waiver to keep getting paper. Write this number down: 1-877-874-6347. But hear me, that's the rare exception. For nearly everybody, direct deposit is the answer, and it takes about 10 minutes. And if you're sitting there thinking, but I like my paper check, I like holding it, I understand. My point isn't that the paper was bad. It's that the paper is ending whether either of us likes it or not. So the only question left is whether your money follows you to the new system or gets left behind. Make it follow you. That's list 1. Easy to fix. Merciless if you ignore it. The next one is where it stops being about paperwork and starts being about real dollars walking out of your account. Half of them. List 2. The overpayment clawback. Here's how a person lands on this one, and it will send your blood pressure straight up. Social Security pays you your benefit. Then, sometimes months later, sometimes years later, they decide they paid you too much. Maybe you earned a bit over a limit. Maybe 2 benefits overlapped for a stretch. And a huge share of the time, this is the part that gets me, the mistake was theirs, not yours. Their bad math. Your problem to clean up. Then the letter comes. It says you were overpaid, and it wants the money back. And in April of 2025, the agency set the default recovery rate at 50%. 50. That means if you don't act, they can reach into your monthly check and hold back half of it, month after month, until the whole so-called debt is paid off. Let me make that real, because 50% is just a number until it's your grocery money. Take a man I'll call Ray, 71, worked construction his whole life, lives outside Macon, Georgia. Ray gets about $2,000 a month from Social Security, and he runs his life on it down to the dollar. One morning, a letter tells him he was overpaid 4 years ago and owes it back. He sets it on the counter and figures he'll deal with it later. 90 days go by. The next check lands at $1,000, half gone. Rent didn't get cheaper, his medicine didn't get cheaper, and he never saw it coming. Now put your own number where Ray's is. On a $1,500 check, 50% is $750 gone. On a $2,000 check, it's $1,000. On a $2,500 check, it's $1,250. Whatever your check is, cut it in half and ask yourself if you could take that landing in your account with no warning. How many people are we talking about? By early last year, right around 670,000 people had part of their Social Security held back over one of these overpayments. 670,000. That's not a rare glitch in the system, that's a machine running at full speed. Now the trap, and please burn this into your memory. When that letter shows up, a clock starts ticking. You have about 90 days to respond. Say nothing, let it sit like Ray did, and the 50% just switches on by itself. Most people freeze up. They treat a government letter as the final word carved in stone. It is not. You have moves. Here's exactly what to do if that letter ever lands in your box. Don't ignore it, and don't just start paying it blindly. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213, and you've got 3 options. 1. You can ask them to drop the withholding to something you can actually live on, like 10% instead of 50%. 2. If the overpayment wasn't your fault and paying it back would leave you short on rent or food, you file for a waiver, Form 632, which asks them to forgive it completely. 3. If you believe they're simply wrong, you file a reconsideration, Form 561, and make them prove the debt. Say the words waiver and reconsideration out loud on that call. Those 2 words flip you from a victim into somebody the system actually has to answer. Who takes the worst of this one? Widows and widowers, whose benefits shift the very month a spouse passes. People who worked a little on the side in retirement. Anyone whose situation changed and the agency was slow to catch up. If that sounds like you, don't sit around waiting for a letter. You can ask about your own record on that same number today. That's 2 lists. One stops your check, one saws it in half. The third one is the quiet one, and it's the one hardly anybody sees coming. List 3. Call it the "we can't verify you" list. This one is about the agency losing track of you, or not being certain that you're really you. And over the last couple of years, the rules here got a lot stricter. Social Security tightened how you prove your identity. For a lot of the big moves, filing for your retirement or a survivor's benefit, or changing the bank account your check flows into, you can't just phone it in the easy way you always used to. Now it's one of 2 doors. Online, through your personal My Social Security account at s-a.gov, or in person, at a field office, and in a lot of places now, at a participating post office, because the agency teamed up with the Postal Service to handle it at thousands of locations. So, how does that put your check at risk? Picture this. You closed an old bank account last year and opened a new one, and you never told Social Security. Payment day comes, the deposit bounces off the debt account, and now there's money owed to you with nowhere to land. Or a letter they needed you to answer went to an address you moved away from 2 years ago. A payment that can't find you can get held, suspended, until you surface and fix it. And if the only way you've ever dealt with them is by phone, you might not even find out until the check is already late. The fix is something you can knock out this week, long before you ever need it. Set up your My Social Security account at s-a.gov while everything's calm and nothing is wrong, not in a panic the week a payment goes missing. Log in, confirm your address is current, confirm the bank account on file is the one you actually use today. 10 quiet minutes now saves you a frozen, frightening month later. Who's most exposed here? The phone-only crowd. If you have never once logged in online, if you have always handled everything by calling, you are exactly the person this change trips up. So even if you swear you'll never touch a computer for anything else, get this one account created, or ask someone you trust to sit down and set it up with you. It's the single best insurance policy on this whole list. So let's pull it all together, because this is the part that decides whether any of it helps you. Are you on a list? Tonight, run 3 quick checks. Check 1. If you still get a paper check, that's list 1. Move to direct deposit or the direct express card before that check stops coming. Check 2. If a letter ever tells you that you were overpaid, that's list 2. Don't panic, don't ignore it. Call, ask for a lower rate, and say the words waiver and reconsideration. Remember the 90 days. Move fast. Check 3. If you've never set up your online account and your address or your bank might be out of date, that's list 3. Log into s-a.gov this week and make sure they can still find you. And running underneath all 3, one more warning, because these exact fears are the ones a scammer loves to weaponize. Real Social Security will not call you out of nowhere, threaten to cut you off within the hour, and demand you fix it right now with a gift card or by reading your Social Security number over the phone. That call is a fake, every single time. Hang up. If you're worried about your own check, you make the call and you use the real number, 1-800-772-1213. Never the number a stranger hands you. Never the one that flashes up on your caller ID, because they fake that too. Here's the plain truth sitting under all 3 lists. The people who keep their checks aren't luckier than the rest. They're not sharper. They're just the ones who found out before it happened, instead of after. That's the entire difference. That's the only difference. So do one thing for me right now. Picture one person, your mother, the neighbor 2 doors down, the man from church who still swears by his mailbox check. Send them this video. If they're on list 1 and they don't switch in time, they will miss a payment they were counting on to live. You can prevent that with a 30-second message. That's worth more than any like or subscribe button. But if this did open your eyes, then yes, go ahead and subscribe to the Finance Scribe, because the rules around your money get rewritten every single year, and I'll keep bringing you each change before it costs you, not after. And tell me down below, did you already know your check could be stopped or cut like this, or is this the first you're hearing of it? I read the comments, and honestly, your answers tell me which list to dig into deeper next. Whatever else you do today, don't let this one just scroll on by. Go run those 3 checks. Your check is yours. You earned every dollar of it, over a lifetime of work. Let's make sure it keeps landing right where it belongs.